Hello everybody, it's Tarun. Welcome to your 17th tutorial in the HTML course. In this tutorial, I'll start with menus within the forms. So, menus are another way to provide a list of choices. So, you can provide list of choices by a drop-down menu or a scrolling menu. Menus tend to be more compact than group of buttons and checkboxes. You can add both drop-down and scrolling menus to a form with the select element. Okay. So this is the element. Whether the menu pulls down or scrolls is the result of how you specify its size and whether you allow more than one option to be selected. Okay. So now let's take a look at both menu types. First of all, we'll talk about drop-down menus. The select element displays as a drop-down menu, also called a pull-down menu, by default when no size is specified or if the size attribute is set to 1. So in the pull-down menus, only one item can be selected. So let me show you one example. So here I have added the menu, drop-down menu. Okay, and the options which are there in the drop-down menu are added with the help of option element. Okay, this option element. So let me just save it and show you how does it look like. So here you can see that it is asking you what is your favorite 80s band. So when you'll click on the drop down menu, you will get the menu and you can choose any option. Okay, but only one option can be selected at a time. And I have and here there is no need to use checked to show the default value. The first value in the drop down menu will be shown as default. Okay. So you can see that the select element is just a container for a number of option elements. The content of the chosen option element is what gets passed to the web application, and it gets done when the form is submitted. So if for some reason you want to send a different value than what appears in the menu, you can use the value attribute to provide an overriding value. Okay. So for example, in the this menu, if someone selects everything but the girl from the sample menu, the form submits the value EBTG for the 80s favorite variable. Okay, 80s fav variable, and for the others, the content between the option tags will be sent as the value. So this can be done when you feel like that the value of the variable will be very lengthy. So you can assign a value inside the option element, and that value will be passed whenever you select that option. So now let's see the scrolling menu. To make the menu display as a scrolling list, simply specify the number of lines you would like to be visible when using the size attribute. So let me just show you the example of a scrolling menu. So this is the example. So let's save it and run it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here you can see the menu is scrolled, and you can add, you can choose more than one options. Okay, so let's see what is happening in the code. You may notice a few new attributes in there. The multiple attribute allows the user to make more than one selection from the scrolling list. Okay, there's multiple, and it displays a small scrolling menu automatically by default. Use the selected attribute in an option element to make it the default value for the menu control. Okay, so these two values selected, these are default values in the scrolling menu. So the selected option will be highlighted when the form loads, and the selected attribute can be used with the pull down menus as well. So Now let's move forward to the next topic, which is grouping menu options. We can use the opt group element. Okay, let me just tell you the element. Opt group element to create conceptual group of options. The required label attribute in the opt group element provides the heading for the group. So let me just show you the example. Okay, let's save and run it in the browser. Okay, this is a grouping of menus look like. Okay, so this was the opt group element. So let's move forward to the next topic, which is file selection control. Web forms can collect more than just data. They can also be used to transmit external documents from a user's hard drive. For example, a printing company could use a web form to upload artwork for a business card order. A magazine could use the form on their site to collect digital photos for a photo contest. The file selection control makes it possible for users to select a document from their hard drive to be submitted with the form data. It is added to the form by using our old friend input tag with the type set to file. Okay, so input type equals to file, and okay, the example here shows which I will tell you will show a file selection control used for photo submission. Okay, here you can see the input with the type file. So let me just show you in the browser. Okay, so here you can click on choose file. Okay, and it will open a window where you can choose any file. So if I let's say choose this, then it has been selected, but this form is not complete and it is just in sample, so it will not give send this photo to any server. So the file upload widget varies by browser and operating system. It may be a text field with a button to browse the hard drive, as the Firefox does. Okay, which I'll just show you. Or it might be just a button, which is how Chrome displays it, as I've shown you. But it is important to note that when a form contains a file selection input element, you must specify the encoding type, which is ENC type of the form as multi-part / form data, and use the post method. Okay, here you can see the post method. The size attribute in the example sets the character width, okay, of the text field, although it can be controlled with the CSS style sheet. So let me just show you how will the Firefox show it. So this is the file input in Firefox. Okay, it shows the text field with the browse button, and the Chrome it shows you the choose file button with no text option, with no text field. So now let's move forward to the next topic, which is hidden controls. Okay, there may be times when you need to send information to the form processing application that does not come from the user. In these instances, you can use a hidden form control that sends data when the form is submitted, but is not visible when the form is displayed in a browser. Hidden controls are added using the input element with the type set hidden. Okay, its sole purpose is to pass a name or value pair to the server when the form is submitted. So in the example which I am going to tell you, a hidden form element is used to provide the location of the appropriate thank you document to display when the transaction is complete. So let me just show you the example. Okay, so your input type is hidden and its value is this. So let's see what happens in the browser. So you can see that nothing happens. So I have worked with forms that have dozen of hidden controls in the form element before getting to the parts that are actually fills out. So this is the kind of information you get from the application programmer, system administrator, or whoever is helping you get your forms processed. So if you are using a script, be sure to check the instructions to see that if there are any hidden form variables which are required. So now let's move forward to the next topic which is there in HTML5, which is date and time control. So if you ever booked a hotel or a flight online, you have no doubt about how you have used the calendar widget for choosing the date. So chances are that the little calendar was created using JavaScript. But HTML introduced 6 new input types that make date and time selection widgets part of a browser's standard built-in display capabilities. Okay, the date and time pickers are implemented only on a few browsers as of now, such as Opera. But on the non-supporting browsers, the date and time input display as a perfectly usable text entry field instead. So how does it work? Okay, the input type is just changed. It is date for date, and input type is time for time, and for both date time it is date time, and for date time local it is date time local, and for month it is month, and for week it is week. So I'll just show you how the Opera supports and how does it look like this. How does it look like in the Opera? So let me just show you an example. This example creates a date input type input control such as pop-up calendar for specifying a date which is year, month, day. The initial value provided is in the format of year, month and date. So let me just show you in the browser. Okay, so here you can see that it is displaying as the calendar only because I am using the latest Chrome. So now I'll show you the example for type time. So let me just run it. Okay, so here you can see that I can change it to AM, PM, then 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, with the arrow keys. So this creates a time input control for specifying a time hour in this manner: hour, minutes, and seconds, with no time zone indicated. So now let's see the third type, which is type date time. So let me just show you. This creates a combined date time input control that includes time zone information. So the value here is relative to GMT, and we saw the time element here in year, month, date, day, then time zone, and then hour, minute, and seconds. Okay, so let me just show you. Okay, so here you can see it goes like this, so you can edit it also. Okay, so this was all from my side in this tutorial. In the next tutorial I'll talk about the remaining 3 types, which is date, time, local, month and week, and I'll also teach you about numerical inputs in HTML5 and color selector in HTML5 and a few more HTML5 form elements. And the last and main thing which I'll tell you in the next tutorial will be form accessibility features. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.